love you, me want it. Let me tell you how much that I love you. You found me no search. It's like you knew that inside I was hurting. I was so young, said no chance, but you gave me a shot at a romance. I feel like you were like an angel sent to bring me light. Now that I'm with you, me want to say that me love you, that me love you, that me love. Hey, me no go one day wonder without my baby, without me love, without me love. And I'll dance and sing and I sing because you make my life complete. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah. Chada, 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 chada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's for me. Chada, 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 chada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's for me. I've never felt this way. So when they ask us, say, oh yeah, we're going all the way. So me, we happy, love you all the time and things. Sometimes I wonder if the thing could cut us under, to get under, I know. But your love in my life control that. I laid out my life this way. Do anything to make you stay. All of the blessings, they come my way. And all the bad things, they turn away. Sometimes life is such a scare. Your love gives me the strength to bear. Oh, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Greetings.
I be killing that shit. Ooh, yeah. Don't be trying to put me on features and stuff.
Girl.
Listen.
Look, the conversation we had was so good. I went and got some proof, some receipts, just in case we need some receipts. Just always know, I don't care who you talk to, you call Jazzy if you need some receipts.
That part.
You understand? Because I got receipts.
Oh, your hair looks good.
Call me the spiritual accountant, because I got the receipts. I'll tell you.
That part. Before we get started, let me go on and give this message, which is why I entitled this video Diamonds and Pearls. After I got off the phone with Jazzy, I had stopped and got me some stuff real quick so I can come to the park and sit. And I was listening to Kiki Wyatt's covers, and one of the songs that she did was, Diamonds and Pearls by Prince. In that moment, Yehuda said, do you understand? And I said, yes. He said, call Aubrey. So I called Aubrey and told Aubrey, he said, for you to play this song, and there's a message in this song for you. And so she understood it. She received it. We listened to it. I was on the verge of tears. Like, it was all I could do not to bust out crying. And so, Spirit said, now I want you to go ahead and give that message to all as well. So basically, what the message is, if you've not ever heard this song, or if you have heard this song, the Spirit says, would you be happy, a boy or a girl? If I could, I would give you the world. But all I can do is just offer you my love.
Okay.
So
love.
I need to just say that like that. Please go listen to the song and take that message out of it. Because there's a lot of keys in there. So anyway, greetings, Jackie. How are you?
So I'm going to sing the song with you. Love is the answer. That's what I hear. You hear me? Because love is the answer.
Yes.
One love. That's what Bob Marley message is. Because last time I meant to mention that I was speaking to him before we got on. And Bob Marley got this song. I sent it to you. It's called Chant Down Babylon. Every day I listen to Bob Marley chant down Babylon. He say with this reggae music. Right? And Bob Marley sends the message with the music. One love, one heart. Mm-hmm. Let's get together and feel all right.
Yes.
One love. You hear me? One heart. Let's get together and feel all right.
Absolutely.
That's what the message is. That's what the Bible teaches. And I just want to explain that I teach from the Bible because I was one of those children that grew up in the church. And I heard the message on Sunday, and I saw the family doing this, that, and the third Monday through Saturday. So I was one of them children that was confused because it say we supposed to do this, that, and the third, and nobody is anybody reading this? Am I the only one that can read what this say?
Yeah.
That's how I was looking at it, because it say the Sabbath is the holy day. So we go to church on Sunday because the Sabbath is Saturday. Saturday is the day you're supposed to connect to your ancestors. That's the day you're supposed to venerate your ancestors. And that's the day you're supposed to establish your wisdom. And wisdom is the crown, the diadem, the body, the ancient deities, and all that we is out here teaching people about. And we was having a conversation about the X-Man, which
Yeah.
is the X chromosome, which is the mitochondria gene, which is the DNA, which is Mama Adina, which is Quatita, because Quatita name breaks down into Tita. Y'all know La means the. So her name is Tita. Her name basically translates into she is the light, right? And by her being the light, she came under the soul return of a Scorpio, correct? You're a Scorpio.
Yes.
And the Scorpio energy is that you have power over the genitals. So that's the reproductive system. Also, you rule the reproductive system. You rule the blood system. So the blood system is where the DNA is. That's where the ether at. That's where the melanin at. That's where the cells at. That's where the soul's at. Everything that you teach about. You teaching from your blood because you are the blood. But people don't understand the science. So you got a lot of confused people wondering how you do what you do because they don't know how powerful the ancient deities, which is the whole connection of the universe, really is.
Yeah.
And you really are Professor X.
Yeah.
And you really connect
Cerebral.
everybody minds
Yeah.
together. Y'all seen X-Men, how when they go in the little room and you got your X-Men squad, because I don't know who is who, but the squad. Y'all know the squad. Aubrey, Malika, Carbon, the squad. I ain't leaving nobody. All of y'all. Y'all know I ain't leaving nobody out. Don't nobody be like, Jazzy forgot about me. But y'all know the squad. We know the squad. These is your professors. When we out, and I'm one of your professors too, because I'm out here telling people, go to the water. Go to the water. Because I told you, you the water that get the brain waves going, because you the cerebral, right? You the cell phone activator. You get we all got different parts. And you get that water going, and people, I don't, it ain't even a word that I could make up that you Quatita. I mean, that's the word we gonna use to describe who you are, because Quatita mean the light. It's no words we could say to say who you are, because you brung so many of us out of our darkness, and you don't even know, because you be obedient to spirit. You would just be like, hey, Spirit said quit eating cupcakes, and you would go ahead on about your business. Don't think nothing about it. But you don't know the doctor just told us if we eat or think about one more cupcake, it's over. And you be that light in the tunnel that be like, hey, quit eating cupcakes. And you go ahead on about your business, because you don't realize the butterfly effect that you having on people being Professor X. You not just know, like you done interviewed Queen Elizabeth. I mean, I guess that's coming. My bad. Okay, but anyway, you done interviewed Diana and you know, Whitney. You done taught us about the industry. A lot of us was studying this stuff, but we ain't had no light. And when you cut your light on it and our brain got to going with them brain waves, it was on.
Yeah.
It was on.
Gratitude, Jazzy. So you
Gratitude to
texted
you.
me and called me today, and when you started going into this, because you went into the, is that's a real fucking owl?
Yep.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's two of them, and it's looking right at me. Oh, bitch, that is
Yep. Because guess what? You know what an owl, seeing an owl in the daytime mean? Because I saw one 3 days ago.
ethereal. She came to me last night. You are
Yeah.
kidding me.
Okay.
The
Look
owls,
at these.
one
Look
is
at these
facing this
two
way and
owls.
turned his head. One is facing directly looking at me. Girl, that is ethereal. And she came to me last night. I'm going to pass the fuck out. Oh, I can't even show y'all because then y'all would know where I live at. Damn it. I've never seen a real owl, Jazzy. It's two of them. They looking at me.
So you know what that means?
Girl.
You will never see the world again. The
What does that
same.
mean?
Your vision changing. You getting ready to see the world a whole nother. You getting the gift right now. You understand? You getting the
Mm.
gift right now. Like your sight is changing right now before all of our eyes. This is a gift for all of us right now because your vision just doubled. Like you just leveled up twice right now. Owls represent wisdom. We started the video off talking about wisdom and the diadem, and you see them too. The number 2 represents wisdom. Wisdom is God. Wisdom is love. Wisdom is understanding. Wisdom is that you are X-Man. That's the confirmation that you getting ready to open up this school. Because, you know, some of us is Harry Potter out here and we need to come to the Hogwarts Academy and, you know, yeah, black on like your hat. Yeah, you got that hat on for a reason. Go ahead, okay. Right, I'm
Listen,
reading too now, okay? I'm reading
listen.
too now.
Okay. I cannot even fucking believe that. I've never
I
seen an
got
owl in my
chills.
life. And
Oh
that's
my
two of them.
God.
And one is facing me, looking right at me. Okay, that just fucked me up. But so I had got a text from one of my clients that she's been my client for years, and she said, "Can you do listen, I am fucked up."
Me too, girl. Look, I can't stay still, girl.
I am fucked up.
Mm.
I'm mad I can't even take a picture of this shit. She said, "Can you do a live talking to Yehuda about blood types?" And I had not even said nothing. So when you call me and we're talking and you start going into the blood and shit, and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?" And I sent you the text message and you just went right on into it. And you was like, "I bet you O, ain't you?" And I said, "Yeah, all my life when I was younger, I thought I was AB and I'm not. I'm O." Come on.
So that's my mama. My mama taught me this, but this is the A bloodline. Some people are A and B. Some people are just A. Some people are just B. And then you got the universal bloodline, which is O. So by the O being the universal bloodline, A can only give to B. B can only receive from O. O can only give to A. O can give blood to anybody. So do you see who you are?
Yes, gratitude. Gratitude.
Your blood. And one reason why we got the same last name, what me and you was just talking about, is because I do realize the power of the blood. Because the blood can heal the blood. Remember, I used to tell you certain people would come on your show or whatever. Me and my cousin, who they deans as well. We all sit around and watch you. And certain people that'll come around you will be irritated because blood is magnetic. So even though you couldn't see that you was finna go through it, we saw it. Like, oh, nah, we was madder than you, girl. Like, oh, we don't even know you personally. We like, we gotta call her. Like, dang right, you know, like it's just certain things in the blood. But a lot of us have. Wait a minute, let me put my phone on do not disturb because vague. Okay, so through the bloodline. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. So, but what I'm getting at is the blood is magnetic, right? That's the iron that's in the blood. Because I got iron in my blood, you got iron in your blood, and we do not be knowing that we be carrying the same bloodline. That's the DNA, the Charlotte's Web, the internet, and it's all connected through the bloodline. Will
Oh,
somebody
they're
quit
blowing your
calling
phone
me?
down.
I see. Don't want nothing. Well, somebody probably trying to get a reading. You know how that go. So what the bloodline? I'm getting to the bloodline. You're not gonna take my thought like that. No. Run that back. Okay, so the bloodline, like the blood is magnetic because we got the iron in the blood, and like sometimes we attracted to stuff in people's blood. One of my friends that crossed over, he teaches me that you know how you would see somebody out and you would be like, they look familiar, but you don't know that person. Let's
Yeah.
think about the word familiar. The word family is in the word familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they looked at familiar.
Yeah.
That was your people.
Yeah.
You know, but if you don't know the power of the blood, it's a power. You know, all them gospel songs they sing about Juicy J blood. They talking about our ancestor blood.
Absolutely.
So if you can listen to the song and remove the Juicy J part and listen to the ancestor part.
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
You will find out all our knowledge is with the Juicy J story. It's just we gotta take the sandals off. So we can see ourselves as who they talking about. And then the ancestor, which you done talk to everybody, uncle, cousin, brother, grandma, you know, you gotta come in then you shape shift into them. As people never got a reading about her, she shape shifted to your people. I'm telling you. She cocked her head to the side and started chewing her gum like my daddy. She had my daddy mannerisms. I'm like, what the? And my man, I'm like, that's my daddy. Like, what the heck? My hair standing up. Like, I could not. And you know, I'm the type, I got to go scientifically explain anything I see. So I had to go learn that the ancestors is the chromosomes, which is the chakras. The word chrome is colors. Chakras is colors.
Mm.
And remember, you was breaking down the deities to the chakras.
Come on up,
That's
Malika.
why.
Come up, Malika. Was waiting on you, girl. Come on.
And we just spoke about her too.
Yeah.
Being, we
The
found
giraffe.
out we have me and you have elephant spirit. And my daughter, my 10-year-old, explained that she has a giraffe spirit. And she said giraffes have long necks because they got to look over everybody. And so that's the family oriented person that makes sure everybody to get, no matter what's going on, they just be, that's Malika. And when you was like, Malika got a giraffe spirit, that was just so cool because now I could see like our spirits be tribes and they know they tribes, but it's us that lack knowledge that we need to be over here with the elephants or we need to be over here with certain. Because when you look in the safari, you see the elephant, the giraffe, the gazelle. What other animals is it? They live in
The
harmony
lion,
though.
the
The
hyena.
lion,
Mm-hmm.
they all live in harmony though. We got them eating each other and tripping and stuff because we don't know who we are.
Now,
Greetings, Malika.
You said you a dean, I'm a dean, and I said, you know what's so crazy? Malika's husband people are deans. Jazzy say, so I said, ain't that crazy? She said, would you say that it could be a dimension?
Like a realm or last name, surnames or realms. Because you got to think the original person with that last name came from somewhere. So you know how they say you could trace your bloodline back to where you came from by the surname. And if y'all ever went down that rabbit hole, you know the surname gonna keep on changing and keep on changing and keep on changing. So you're gonna find out you can all these different kind of people. And that's where we walking down the street and we like, I know them. Yeah, we do.
I like that you said that because and everything has been tying into this conversation. And Quatita and I watched Black. I missed everything so far for this live, so if I repeat something, I'm so sorry.
But you have not missed anything, Malika. I told her in the conversation on the phone, which is why we jumped on here, that we watched this last night.
Right, we watched Black Mirror, and it that episode 1. It just opened and unfolded so much. So when you're talking about the last names and the last names reflecting realms, I love that because when you think about the simulation, the way that Quatita taught it in the class, that is now branching off into different simulations, into extensions of itself, because as each of you walk with that last name, you walk in that power. And so your personal experience and existence on your own or with your group that's separated from that source, it's doing its own thing and adding its own dynamic to the experience. All of it, listen, this Black Mirror episode, cousins, if you have not watched Black Mirror on Netflix, please, if you don't watch any other episode, watch episode 1. And if you've taken the simulation class, season 6, if you've taken the simulation class, your mind is going to be blown. If you've just been here on the lives, your mind is going to be blown. You didn't talk about the realization we came to yet, Quatita?
We haven't gotten into it because we just started.
I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna leave it to you. When you get there, then
Everybody was ready to go, and I saw you in the chat. These owls, Ethereum came to me last night. These owls, go ahead.
So look, with the show y'all's talking about now, I haven't seen it, but I want to show everybody watching how spirit work, because I'm just showing y'all what they told me to do. So you said it's season 6, episode 1, correct? So that's a number 7. Number 7 represent God. You broke down that 2 days ago that's Mama Adina and Yehuda. So I'm a Leo. Are you a Leo?
Me?
I don't know. I feel like you a Leo.
Me or Quatita? I'm a Cancer.
Malika.
I'm a Cancer. Quatita Scorpio.
Okay, well, the Cancer come from the Leo. How about that? The Cancer the Leo comes from the Cancer.
I take it back because Charming is teaching me about astrology. And that's what I was telling Quatita. I love about you being here is that knowledge of astrology, because I've been wanting to tap into it, but bits and pieces at a time. And the way you guys include it in the conversation, it makes it easy to digest. But Charming was looking at me because I'm a Cancer Leo. So you're absolutely right. I don't know which one is rising, dawning, throwing.
But you feel that the Leo is really connected to the Cancer because we all connected. So when I do readings, I even had people look into signs they ain't even know they had. Because it's like that spirit teaches me astrology. You know how spirit is your teacher and you just can't even explain how you know some stuff, but you be like, yeah. But with that number 7, that represents completion. So the fact that y'all watched that show and y'all got that knowledge that y'all getting ready to bring forth to the table so we can eat this soul food and it's about to be good. This is completion. We in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius is the age of knowing. Like we don't gotta wonder who calling. We can see who calling. The Aquarius is about to see. That's the pineal gland. That's why it's a great awakening. And the great awakening is the completion of the great awakening. We is woke. But now we woke, but we confused because everybody like, now, okay, do we go over there or what we supposed to do now? So that's kind of where everybody is like, now what we supposed to do? So that's where.
Let me just tell you what these owls are doing. The one is still facing me, just looking at me. The head is not moving at all. It's just looking at me, bro. The other one is turned to the side like this, and the head keeps doing like this. But
look at it from different ways, different perceptions.
But this one is just like boom, right here, looking at me. And the other one is just like, that head is spinning all the way the fuck around. I've never seen this in my life. Anyway, let's get into it, Malika.
You know that gift coming in. I just sent you a song. I just sent you that song before we did this called Our Frequency. Can I play it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
Partita, the owls.
And it's a connection. Cause you from Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Rasta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from Jamaica, but I'm Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. I know when I heard
you know what I'm saying? So it's like you see that connection.
When I heard you talk about Selassie, that's where I've always had the connection with Yehuda, even though my father didn't raise me in Rastafarian religion, because he pulls and picks from different places and he feels like where you stand is your church. That's what he's always taught me since I was a little girl. But being around my dad, being around my uncles, especially because I'm signed to Pressure Bus Pipe. So being around Pressure, and he's even part of the reason why I was inspired to go on my lock journey.
Oh, I love him.
He's amazing. He's incredible.
I love him.
But like when you go in there, it's Selassie is present when you go in his home.
But he a true Rasta, and Rasta mean the follower of the soul.
Mm-hmm. And so when you see the lion representation, for me, that was always it. The lion always felt like home. So when I first started listening to Quartita give her teachings and she was speaking about Yehuda, I was like, I'm mind blown, because the connection is even deeper than we know.
Yeah.
Those owls.
And that's what I was telling Quartita.
One owl looking straight forward and the other owl moving its head and turning it, because you can be looking in the direction that you're going, but you have to make sure that you're looking at all parts at the same time, everywhere, all at once. So when I hear that's what she's seeing, because we have two owls, they're huge. Like when they flew the first time, if they fly over the house, it feels like there's a shadow, like the sun will dim. They are huge. I never knew they were so big. And they are on the biggest tree in the backyard. And you'll hear them at night also give their call and their signal. And they'll get close sometimes. And when you watch, that's why I know why Quartita is mind blown right now. Because when you watch them and you watch them in their natural essence, it feels like everything that they do is like a unspoken language. Like you can learn from every movement, and literally all they do is just stand there and move their heads. But you gain so much from it. You feel the energy of it. But anyway, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So I'm going to answer this question. Somebody, Majestic, says, so is 9 not the number of completion? 9 is the number of completion, of completing things, of completion. But when we're talking about the spirit and the soul being of whole, we're talking about the number 7, like being whole, made completed, as in wholesome of the source of all things.
Your 7 spirits.
Yes.
Your 7 spirits, your 7 orishas, your 7 days a week, your 7 continents, your 7 seas, your 7 light bringer, your 7 carrier, your 7 as in your culture and your understanding of your culture and the communication that you have with your culture. Your culture is the arts. That was spirit. But yeah, the 7.
To give you an example, Majestic, of how that looks, and because I didn't learn the grandness of that until I met Quartita and she explained the 7 to me. When I was telling her, she mentioned the number and I was like, oh, that was supposed to be the name of my final album. It was during we were all under quarantine and all of that. So we canceled the release of it and never went back to it. But it was 7 SE, the number 7 EN. So it was 7 seen, like finally being seen. So when I told Quartita that, she was like, do you understand the depth of that? And she explained to me what Jazzy and Quartita were just explaining. And I realized that that is where everything connected for me. And that's why I was finally willing to release a body of work and finally got to a space where I loved hearing my voice, because I had stepped into my authenticity, my soul and spirit connected. I was fully in my work. All of it came into. So it's not the completion of 9, which is putting out the album and doing, which I feel like I'm doing with Grand Rising, but it's not that, but it is that feeling or that knowing that you have reached a level of connection where you are never at our peak, right? We're always learning, but you are whole in your connection, in your divine connection. That's how I see it.
Okay. Gratitude. Let's get into this show real quick, y'all. Okay. So,
Wait a minute, one more thing. Did you tell everybody that when I called you right before we said we was gonna hop on here, that your alarms kept going off?
Which is why I'm outside inside my car at the park, because they are running a fire alarm system testing. And as she started speaking, the alarm just started going off real loud. And then it stopped and went off again. And it just kept doing it periodically. Every time, it seemed like every time we were talking about something powerful in the conversation, the alarm would go off. And so
And
Jazzy
now
said,
some owls watching you.
now the owls are watching me. She said, that's just the alarm sound, and the spirit is letting you know that we waking up. So absolutely, but yeah, listen, Etheria came to me last night and I kept hearing her and I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh, maybe I have not connected to her deeply like I need to. And then to sit here in these owls, and I'm at a different park. I'm not even at the same park I usually go to. I just pulled in here like, oh, a park. So I came to this one. Two fucking owls, bro, are sitting on two different houses just looking at me. Like, the other one is whatever. Anyway, so um we watched Black Mirror last night, and the episode is called Joan is Awful. Inside of this episode, Joan is living her life, and you see she kind of got the soft and quiet going on. And so she gets home after living her whole day, and only to see there's a show on Sparrowberry or whatever, which is kind of like a Netflix of Joan is Awful. Same hair, same life. She's like confused as fuck. Like, what is going on? So she's watching it. Now, as she watches it, it ends her relationship with her fiance because of the shit that she did throughout this day that's being revealed. She's hyperventilating. She's noticing like everything that she does. She lost her job. Everything is coming to a halt for her because of the shit that she's doing inside of her life. So now she decides she's going to go and take a big shit in the church to fuck up Selma Hayek. So she goes to this attorney. The attorney lets her know, like, there's nothing you can do. You signed up for this. And she's like, how did I sign up for this? She said, because when you signed up for that network, to be in your system, you signed up for it. You didn't read the fine print. Okay, boom, there's a message. Okay, and so then she finds out. She said, "Well, I'm gonna sue Selma Hayek for playing this role." She said, "You can't sue her because this is CGI. This is not even really her. This is like AI system of CGI. Like you can't do shit." So she said, "Okay." So that's when she go and take the big shit in the church or whatnot. So Selma come to her. They go on this mission to kill this computer from the CGI. Among them doing that, they finds out. Okay, because let me wait a minute. Let me backtrack. So Joan is living the life. She finds the show on Sparrowberry of Joan is Awful. Inside of that show, there's another show of Joan is Awful, but it's played by Kate Blanchett. So this goes on, right? And so so now they're going to go kill the computer when they find out that you're not even Joan. What are you mad about? You're not even the real Joan. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I am Joan. He said, you're not Joan. This is the source Joan. You're just playing Joan. You're really an actress. You're just playing this script out. This is the real Joan right here. So you're not playing this. Selma doesn't even exist. This is a CGI. And then that means that Kate is not really existing. Like, so me and Malika's talking afterwards, like, okay, so what you saying is there are alternate universes. Now, before we get into it, Malika, I need to backtrack and say this because I've been doing the past life readings, and some people are still in the same parallel existence of the people that they are playing. That they are. And so everybody's like, well, how is that possible when she just died or she's still living or he's living? Malika found it. Please, can you read it, Malika? If you can't find it, it's in our text thread. You sent it to me.
Okay, can you still hear me if I change this screen? Like,
No. No.
okay, let me see if I can pull it up again because I can't read it on there and be on here at the same time. But I know it was in regards to soul splitting.
Yes.
And it was on one of the Reddit boards, but the individual that was answering the question of if this is possible, she is a past life transgression specialist. And so she was talking about the fact that there are many different ways that two souls can be in the same realm or in separate realms, that a soul can split to serve a purpose for the grander understanding of that individual being or that individual soul, right? So I know the term is soul splitting, and I'm gonna find the other one. Let me put you on pause real quick and go and look, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
So
So
that's like cell division when you pregnant and it's one egg, which is that circle, the soul, and then it's split into two eggs, and then it actually splits into the tree of life. Then it becomes one being, but that's how it's multiple use because it's multiple cells.
yes, and you split yourself. And when I had said before, Mother Dina has split herself into many. That is the truth. Now I see Mr. Really though. He's a 12-year-old young man. He says, "Have you seen the Spider-Man movie?" I did. I just went to go see it like 2 weeks ago, and I've never really watched Spider-Man like that. But this is an animation that told so much truth of different dimensions, and it left you with a cliffhanger of to be continued. But it is yeah, they were like in the same dimension, different dimension, same dimension kind of thing. Like it was really, really good. And I had never seen that shit. But he was living a same life, but a different life, playing a different character of the same people.
Have you
Like,
seen 100, the movie called 100 with Keanu Reeves?
I don't think so.
It's an old movie. It came out like in '98. But in that movie, it show you he went to every universe. He went to 99 different universes and found himself and killed himself in every universe so he could be the only one him in the universe. Because it's 100 different versions of you in different universes. Even the where is my Gita? My book of Gita tell you that. The Gita, wait a minute. Where's my Gita? Can you get my Gita off the table, please? It's right here.
So when you say that, that brings me back to what we talked about last night, which is kind of what we're gonna talk about too, because like what she was saying, Malik was like, so Quatita, like, so basically, could it be that we may be fucking up our alternates, or our alternates are fucking us up? Because if you're not eating correctly in this dimension, right? How do you know you're not affecting yourself in other dimensions? And that's true for them as well. Is that why the fuck I can't quit smoking, or I just love to do shit like eating shit that I should not eat because of maybe the connection to my alternates? So you not only have yourself that you're playing in a different dimension, you also have your past life selves as well. Come on, you found it, Malika?
I did. Okay, so
Okay.
it says, yes, if they are twin flames, twin souls, or parallel lives of the same soul, the soul, you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. The soul can divide its energy and incarnate in several bodies at once. If they are not supposed to meet, these are called parallel lives. But if they are supposed to meet and get involved with each other, they would either be twin flames or twin souls. Depending on the energetic polarity, twin souls are identical energetic twins. They have the same yin and yang balance and same vibrational signature. So there is a huge connection between them, but without sexual attraction. They can be real life twins, best friends, co-workers, comrades, etc. Twin flames have opposite spin, one yin, another yang, and there is a huge sexual attraction between them, but the relationship is very complicated until they reach union. There are many books and blogs on twin flames, but it's a rather rare event. A soul has to be very highly evolved and experienced in dividing its energy before attempting twin flame incarnation. A lot of people have parallel lives, another part of the oversoul living someplace else without a contract to meet, but we occasionally can jump into their life in dreams or hypnosis sessions. Listen, that blew my mind because of my dreams that I have. Anyway, these can even be lives in other realities, realms, or planets. If you have a recurring dream of another place and it changes all the time, like you are living the whole different life in your dreams, this is usually the sign of a parallel life. Now, let me tell
Cause,
you what's
Cause you go to another, your car go to another realm when you sleep.
I've
It
met at
physically
least
leaves the body.
I've met at least 5 rows, my husband. I've met at least 5 Rose in my dreams. I have been in at least 5 versions of myself. These dreams are so vivid. And you know when it happens because I'll be acting as the Malika here, how y'all know me as a Malika in one of these dreams. I know I'm in my physical vessel. I look the same. A few things may be a little bit different. However, when I make a joke that I would make, sometimes depending on which life it is, people will look at me like, "What's wrong with Malika? Why is she acting like this? Why is she so giddy? Why is she so cheerful?" And I learned from every time I've had this experience, I have learned from them. And that goes to what Quatita was saying about the movie, because what stuck out to me is when they were telling her, don't destroy the computer, like we don't even know this technology, we don't know if we can rebuild it. She said, but wait, if I am an extension of just source Joan, that means that she's already here and this is what she wants. So rather than choosing her own continuation of her existence, she said, if this version of me wants this, this means I have to be aligned with it and get it done, no matter what the outlook is, because I trust her. She's me. She's already figured it out. Let me tell you something. When she hit this machine in that moment, when she said that, that's when that thought dawned on me. As I'm talking to Quatita, I said, because I'm on a diet, y'all. I'm trying to be healthy. But I'm supposed to stop eating after 8 or 7 or 9 or 10, depending on the day. And it was the middle of the night while we're all decided to watch this show. And I wanted a snack so bad. And I was about to get up and make some popcorn. And then I saw that part and I sat back down and I was like, but what if I'm connected to which I'm not, what if, because I know I am connected to other versions of myself based on my experience. But what if me doing that messes up the flow of what these other versions of me are trying to do? What if when I get a random chest pain and go to the hospital, which has happened, and they can't find anything that's wrong? What if that's because another version of me is not taking care of their heart health, and that's what their experience is for? Like, we're all supposed to be working together on the upgrade and evolution of us. Go Quatita.
So if we're not in communication with our own one soul connected to your spirit, your navigator and your pilot, right? So if we're not even communicating with them, that means we're not communicating with the oversoul, which connects to every soul that we have incarnated into. Okay. So that means we need to talk to, and that's what the everything everywhere all at once was about, needing to reconnect and pull in the power of yourself from everywhere, because you are really connected to the oneness of one soul, the greater soul, the Adina, the original. And so, yes, I was John, but I'm also Quatita, and I'm also, I don't know, Layla and Jimmy Jane and all of these other people. So why am I not connecting to them to help to heal them, which is why they wanted us to do past life readings, so you can see, because you have to understand you're still living. There is no past, for real. It's just in a different dimension because it's still going. It's time jumping, quantum jumping, time traveling. Go ahead, Jazzy.
Okay, so I want to crack open something, but before I do, let me say this. So, for I teach about Krishna, and I teach about
Love
we read
Krishna.
out of this we read out of this book on my lives a lot, where I teach about reincarnation, the Vedas, and Shiva, and
Krishna
mind
came to me in
palace.
a dream. Krishna came to me in a dream. That's how I know we're not supposed to cut them off, because they don't look. You're supposed to also acknowledge them as well.
Yes, because that's ancient Ethiopia. That's where it all started at with them. And my childhood friend name was Sharomi. She was from Sri Lanka. And I was like 4 or 5 years old learning this stuff from her. I didn't even know I knew this stuff until I got grown. And then people was like, I'm like, yeah, I know them. You know what I mean? So it's like Krishna teaches about the multiverse. The idea of parallel universes disturbs many scientists. So that's what Malika was just speaking on, how we live, and how she said this version could be sick because another version is not working on itself. And that's when you know you out of alignment with the universe, because no version
Mm-mm.
of yourself look alike. So I'm the fire version, and I'm working on my Scorpio version, and I'm working on my Cancer version, and my Cancer working on my Leo, and my Scorpio working on my you get, we all working on each other by working on each other. You know what I'm saying? But we still got the divisional mindset, and we think we not each other, because we each other. That's how come you can see stuff in me, I can see stuff in you, you can see, we could, the owls sitting right there. Did it
I
freeze
told
up?
Maya J this. I said, Maya, I am you. I've been you. I've been a lot of people. We've been each other. That's how you're experiencing multiple lives at one fucking time. We all are each other. You gotta be, because you're in Adina. Oh
The
my God.
blood.
You're
The
in the
blood,
blood.
both
Listen,
of them
listen.
water signs. And I'm both of them water signs. Malika, you weren't here when I broke down the water signs. So I was telling Quatita, according to astrology, what her sign meant. So let me tell you about your Cancer. Isn't that something? I didn't even write the Cancer down. Ain't that crazy? Let me go get that.
Okay, go ahead. Say this. Say what you're about to say, Malika.
It's gone. It's gone. Wait, okay, wait,
Here
because
it comes.
you were
It's
just
coming
talking
back.
you were just talking about what you said to Maya. Oh shit.
We're all each other. We've all been each other. Like,
Okay, so what I was gonna say with that, gratitude, Jazzy came right back in. The When you look at it, when I think about the experience of the dreams I had, right? This is why you push us to do what Jazzy say, the Rafiki thump on the head. When you push us to be our best selves. When I had those dreams, like for instance, the one with when I was singing and the families were opposite, and Ro was an author, and I read the book, found out he lost his mom. My parents weren't. If I would have risen from that dream and been like, well, shit, it's so much better over here. Like, they got it bad
Mhm.
over there. Like, at least we got our parents, and looked at it from an ego view rather than, oh my goodness, like that's what it would be like if we didn't have the experience of our parents this way. So how can I now use this to pour more into my current relationship? Let me give my husband a hug for the other parts of him that are hurting, that are not possibly receiving that from the existence that they're in. Because if I hug him and I pour love into him, that means his other parts are receiving that as well, because he's getting it here. But if we go from the other viewpoint that Quatita attempts to teach us against, which is what I got is better, I don't connect to nobody else, like you having that conversation with Maya, it just made me think of that, because we have been each other, and you've said it time and time again, and you'll sit there and you'll feel like, I don't know this person. How come I feel like I connect so highly with their story? How can musicians write a song? How can I write a song and 100 different people say you wrote that song for me? It's because we've all had the experience. And the text message last night, the last thing that I wrote to Quatita was, it makes so much sense why the Akashic record is life. Now, if you've been here, Quatita explained that when Yehuda was talking about Simeon, that the SIM card, the power of everything, the Akashic record is your file. File is life. So when I say that, it makes so much sense to why the Akashic record is life, because it's based on the lives you experience, but not just your own, the alternates as well, because we are all one file, one life. We have to step outside of thinking that even when you feel like your life is fucked up, even when you feel like it's not going right, we have a tendency to still feel like we are better than others. And we do that even as Americans. We'll be like, oh, it's shit over there because they ain't even got this, but you've never traveled there. You don't even know what it looks like. Go ahead, Quatita.
because that's where your sympathy and your empathy comes in. Because how can I cry if you lost your daughter if I don't know what it feels like? I know what that trauma feels like, and I have not lost my daughter, but I can empathize and sympathize from it, because somewhere in my past life or living life somewhere I've experienced that. And I get that. So I can grieve with you, I can show love with you, and I can help you to heal in some way. Otherwise, you wouldn't connect or understand shit. Like, what? Like, no,
So
bitch, I've never experienced that before. Like, yes, you have, girl. Go ahead, Jazzy.
I got a big message. Ooh wee. Okay. For both of y'all, because Malika, you got, I don't know if you realize you got all type of circles around your head. Like I'm reading your aura, it's like it's mad. I don't know if nobody else can see all these circles, but they on the ceiling. It's just mad circles, right? But look, so you blood type O, right? So Malika, you wasn't here for this part, so I'm gonna read her part before I read your part. So she is the Scorpio. She has power over the genitals. She rules the reproductive system and the blood system, the sexual beings, and she is the creator of life. She's the water creator. I was telling her that she uses what is called hydrokinesis. That's her power. And that's your power as well, because you are Cancer. So you a water sign that uses hydrokinesis. And with Cancer, you the ruler of the chest, the stomach, and the womb, and the breast. And she just broke down, what's the deity name you just broke down the other day? That's the circle.
Sirion.
Syria. See, I ain't even got the names
Which she
down yet,
loves
but
because he loves her. They
so
love
look,
her.
look on her ceiling. He with her. Look on her ceiling.
Hmm.
It's circles all up
Often.
on the ceiling, lights everywhere, because you are the chest, the stomach, the womb, and the breast. So you from that deity of the spirit. You got that. You came to heal that part of the soul, the breastplate, the
Hmm.
womb. That's why that. I mean, I don't know you personally, but from watching you on Quatita, that's about right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, which means that you have a positive attitude to the body, reproduction, and parenting, and your own or other children. Your daughter came up and gave you a hug, and that was like beautiful. And I got a message from Spirit right quick. So, because we in this position, we have to utilize it. And it's a lot. What I did a live yesterday called love, and that's what's missing in the world, a mother's love. Because it said the true definition of love is to love somebody that you ain't never seen. And only your mother can do that, because only your mother can have a baby in a womb, never seen it, don't know what it's gonna look like, don't know what's going, you don't even know what you about to do, but you love this person. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like that's the type of love that we have for these people. We don't even know these people, and we love them enough to do whatever it is we got to do to get in a position to love them. And as a mother, a lot of us did not get to have that mother's love. So the fact that a mother's love comes to you naturally, I'm gonna need you to get in a position to show the lioness how to love they cubs, because you got a giraffe spirit. Giraffes look over all the other creatures. That's the reason you mama. We can see you. You have a mama spirit. I mean, I don't know if everybody else feel that way about Malika, but I can feel you have that warm
It's
spirit. Like
Miriam, the mother.
that's the mama. I
Hmm.
mean, look, we not making this up. And then we got Adina over here, the other mama, because I'm in the middle for a reason. I'm just over here like they got me in the middle because I'm the fire. You feel me? I'm the lion. I'm y'all know. Yeah, August 16th. I ain't lying. That's my birthday. I am who I say. My birthday 8/16. I'm a master number 33. I came here to enlighten people. I came here to become the light. My name is Javon and it means God. I look people names up. I was looking your name up. I'm about to look her name up. And I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet for a minute because I'm about to look her name
Well,
up. But
good,
I
because I
wanted to
want to
let
make a
y'all
point of
know.
what you just said.
Woo!
I want people to understand exactly what she just said, and it connects. See, this is what I'm saying. Two things you just said just connected. As we said, we always connect in our message somehow. So that was your message yesterday, a mother's love. Yehuda came on today talking about diamonds and pearls. I don't care what you are, just know that I love you deeply from the inside. If that's the only thing I can give you, know that that's what it is, and that's enough. Boom.
Big
Okay.
mama.
Connected that message. Secondly, the other message that I always give and I tell people, you may have somebody in your life that was an enemy to you before, and you don't even understand why you and your sister don't get along. Is because in your other life somewhere y'all didn't get along already. She was an enemy or something to you, and you don't know that's what it is. So even when you say only a mother can birth something that they already love, I know plenty of mothers who love their children before they ever birthed them and have birthed them. And like, is something wrong with this child? Like, I don't, like, why can't we connect? I don't know. He's like, he does, because that was your uncle somewhere that did something to you. And that is your test in this lifetime, is to learn to love that person here again and change them from what they. This is all I'm saying. I have
That's that
chills.
karma.
Like, honestly, this is a part of the test of changing and metamorphosizing and doing something different and learning and growing. You have to learn to love that child, that person. Can you help them? Or are you going to put yourself aside to show this child something different? Because now you got to get rid of the demons that that child came with. You don't come here by yourself.
That's right.
You carry a whole lineage of shit with you.
That's in the blood, the
It's
curse.
in the blood. Now, what do you do with it? You know what I mean?
I didn't know what the diamonds and pearls reference was, but if y'all saw earlier when I was like looking real focused because I read it and I was trying to figure out what that is, and I saw Yehuda, the little symbols next to it. So with you just explaining that, it's interesting to me because one of my clearest memories, I don't remember everything from when I was like 2, 3 years old, but there are vivid memories that I remember, and my mom would be like, "You were way too young to still be remembering it at your age now." But one of them is when my dad, he lived in New York. He's here now, but he lived in New York and he would travel down here maybe 3 to 4 times a year. My parents have never been separated. They've always been happily married. And he would travel down every few months. He just had his construction business up there, so he couldn't be here all the time. So when he could be here was the winter season. And so I remember vividly something that always stays with me. And I listen to the song almost every week. And I think about this and smile. I listen to it at the Grand Rising table. It's part of my process because I clearly remember my mom and dad dancing in the living room at their house to Diamonds and Pearls when it came on the radio. And that has stuck with me. Like, I dance with my husband in the kitchen. We slow dance because of that memory that has stuck with me. And so when I think of even the mothering in what the work that I found myself stepping into, there's also an important, Jazzy, and I love that you and Quartita both spoke on this, because there's also an importance for me to realize that the children are not just our.
Mm.
That's right. I knew she was
Sorry.
talking that truth.
I got
Go ahead.
it. Sorry. The children are not just our children in physical form. When I look at Quartita, there's an inner child in her that I, as a friend, have to assist in healing. When I have a conversation with a client or I send a package to a client, I don't care how old you are. You could be 94. Your inner child is still speaking to me. It's my job to show that baby the love
Mama.
that they deserve.
You
It
the
just
mama.
is. It just
You the
is.
mama.
And sometimes I have to be stern in that. Like Carbon had said, now y'all don't think Malika's sweet, but when she ready to let you know, she definitely Charming has that too, because Charming will switch in instant, and you won't even know. You'll be like, oh my gosh, what just happened? But that is that mama energy, and so I love the main reason when I say that to say this. When I see Quartita do these classes, one of the first classes that I took was the Melanite family, and I bawled my eyes out, because you have to be open to receiving the help for that inner child and knowing that you're not just healing you in that moment. The reason that I bawled was because in that class, I came to the realization when Quatita says, when you have that disconnect and you don't know why, as close as I am with my children, because baby, they get the love, right? Those disconnects from the past lives, you also have to keep into consideration the chaos you've already created that you're bringing that energy into with your decisions and your choices. So, oh, there's an echo. So, oh, I'm hearing myself. What is it? Can you hear the
That's
echo?
the
Oh, it was you,
that's
Quatita?
the saxophone player.
Right.
That's the saxophone player.
So
We talked about the band.
It shifted. It cut my Bluetooth off, and then it just started echoing, I guess.
oh yeah, it did. It sure did. So this is the last part that I'm going to say. What I realized was that I was stopping my son from living his life because he was a direct reflection of my abuser. And my son came to me in his older age and he stated this to me. And because it took me a minute to get it, and I really received it in that class of how we show up as parents. He has never shown the negative traits of the abuser. He has the positive ones, the charm, the allure, all of those things, but he's never shown the negative traits. Yet, for whatever reason, I continue to attempt to try to write that into his script. No, you can't hang around the bad kids. I don't want him around anybody any of the children that act a certain way because they might bring it out of him. Bring what out of him? What are you speaking over your child? So that is something that we also have to take into consideration. You've got to separate your trauma from your child. You have to be able to look at your child and know that this is a clean slate outside of what you're carrying from your past lives. This is a clean slate. Don't dirty it up with your mess. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Gratitude.
That's the saxophone player. She said everybody got a instrument. I played. I went and got my instrument. She was like, well, the saxophone player. It's the saxophone player. You play the tuba, but everybody at the end of the day plays something. And whatever you play, because I just got told that I need to work on my gift of healing people with music. So I wanted to play that song. And that just came to me. I need to go ahead and cut that song on. It's called
Go ahead and play it.
His name is Archangel. And the name of the song is called. Can y'all hear me? Okay, wait a minute. My bad, I'm on YouTube. Okay, can y'all hear it? All in one place, all in one day. Okay. Art Express. Majesty. Lord. And I know the farming of creation, high frequency vibration, high frequency vibration, I know the farming of creation, high frequency vibration, high frequency vibration. In vertebrate and the animal kingdom, those mind no backbone, then we can't stand up straight now. Without leading and without tenderness, the Almighty, I Selassie, yo, and I see, over land, over ocean, them carry, we beyond from oval Kevlan now. Okay, so what he's saying is behold the I frequency, because the I frequency is the forming of creation. How we talked about the water is the brain waves, or thinking is frequencies. You know, love is the frequency that we missing. She a director of music over here. That's a tune. So you got that musical gift because our voices are like trumpets. Our voices are musical instruments. And like a lot of the reggae music teaches you conscious reggae because it's different kinds of reggae. People don't be knowing that. But conscious reggae, they teach you things like your voice is your trumpet. And when you sound your trumpet out in the earth, you have to have a mighty trumpet. Like you have to have a trumpet that when you sound, it people could feel the vibration of what you're saying. That's why he's saying I frequency vibration. That's raising the vibration of the people to where it's stimulating and radiating from the soul out of the pineal gland. And the diadem is rising, and then you got circles all over your head like Malika doing right now. You got owls watching you. You feel me? Like, because owls represent, when you see owls, spiritual animal totem, you will never see the world again. The owl has the ability to see in the dark where everybody else can't see. And the owl represents the number 9, which is the supreme, the supremacy.
You know what's really cool?
What's really cool?
What were you about to say, Quatita? I was gonna go into
that was deep.
I was gonna go into the absolutely. It reminded me of the chakra, the I am versus the I feel, I speak, I understand. Remember, Quatita, we talked about it the other day, right? That's what it made me.
Oh yes, let's say it. Let's say it. Okay, you gotta tell how it came about too.
Okay. I am.
So I was on Instagram just scrolling and doing my, posting content and doing all of that. And this video had popped up, and it's this genome lady that she's sitting in the grass and she's giving an explanation of the chakras and affirmations. And I noticed it said something, she was talking about the I am affirmations not being enough. That's the part you're talking about, Quatita, when you say how it came about? Okay. So she was saying that the I am is not enough. And I'm going to make a video on this. I was supposed to post it this week, but I wasn't able to get it edited up fast enough. But she was saying that every chakra system has a different first 2 words that you speak when you're speaking your affirmations, which we will naturally say it and affirm ourselves and not realize that we're speaking to a certain chakra. But most of the time when you see affirmations, it's I am, I am, I am. So she said, I am is for the root chakra. That's your grounding, your I am, like building
up your confidence.
Absolutely. Right. So then she went into the sacral chakra, which is I feel. And so when my husband was asking, like, make it connect for me, I said, well, when you think about your sacral and you talk about, like, when you hold your sacral, you holding your gut. And the first thing that you say is, man, my gut told me to, man, my gut told me I should. Right.
So that's the intuition. See, I teach all of this. I teach all of this and break it down. So where I bet my people probably yelling at the screen like, da da da, da da da.
So you would say, I feel. Because your gut, that's your feeling. That's greater than any other feeling, that knowing that you're protected internally. You have an internal system. I don't remember the solar plexus. What
so the soul is I do.
I do. Gratitude.
I do.
For
because
your solar plexus.
You do it from the soul. If you're not doing it from the soul, ain't no purpose in it. And then the next one is from the heart, and the heart
I love.
I love.
I love. So you would start your affirmation with I love.
And then that's where you come in at. And that's where you come in at.
I shake.
You the breastplate. The heart.
So look,
the heart.
As she's telling me this, I said, well, and she said, I understand. I said,
would be. Yeah.
I said, well, I want to say, I am knowledge. And
right.
She was like,
Quatita,
that was still.
I know. That's I know. And you're right. Because I told you the brain waves. So you do know. That's how come you know.
So when Quatita was saying, go ahead.
The breakdown. Yes, go ahead. No, it was the breakdown after I said that made me understand what she was saying. So say it the way you broke it back down to me after.
Okay, if I can remember the affirmations I came up with on the spot. So when I was explaining, because you have I speak, I see, I understand. So when I said I understand, Fran said, I want to say I understand, I am knowledge. And I said, well, that would be speaking to 2, but The way that you would separate this is if you were saying, I am knowledge for your root chakra, because you're speaking to your knowing, your groundedness. I am knowledge. Your sacral chakra would be, I feel that the knowledge bestowed upon me is all that I require in order to live out my true existence. I'm making these up, so don't judge me. The solar plexus,
you right on point.
the solar plexus is I do enhance within the walk of the knowledge that I have gathered in this existence. The heart chakra would be I love the knowledge that I receive when I sit in silent serenity, or solitude, and gather information from the ethers and the cosmos and my divine masters, grand beings, ancestors, and deities, right? Then your throat chakra would be I speak knowledge to empower the community that I have been blessed to be a part of, the table that I sit before that has been created for me in spaces where I am seen, heard, and felt. Okay. Then you have your third eye chakra, which is I see the knowledge playing out before me in spaces curated by those the closest to me, my friend Quatiter, by those the closest to me and myself. And in that I grow, I exceed, I expound, I am limitless when it comes to boundaries. And then your crown would be I understand that my appreciation of the knowledge that has been given to me is what leads me in my gratitude on a daily basis. Now, again, these are different from the ones I said to Quatiter, but that's an example of how I just affirmed, I spoke into every facet of my core. And that is so powerful to me.
Excuse me. Can you can you run this back, and I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need exactly what you said. That was, you know how like you trying to think of the perfect words to say something. You just said it. So if you could please like print that out or something and put
I'm
it
gonna
on the
have to do
website
it.
and stuff. I mean,
But I told Quatiter the other day, because it was so profound, and then the conversation that we had about it, that Nye and I are gonna go under our altar tree outside. And we put all of the flowers and stuff we don't use for the business under a specific tree, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do the hand movements. And so it'll be a regular series where it will take the first one I'm dedicating to Quatiter, because I didn't even realize that I could separate it into words without thought and just naturally let it flow until we did the I understand I am knowledge. So now we'll like do different ones starting with that one and have the words appear so you can screenshot it and have your affirmations. But it was just so dynamic.
Are we still doing the box for me?
so we getting some marriage counseling too.
So, okay, two things. I still want to do the box, whatever the box she was gonna do. I still want to do that.
The box for the box for Melamart or your box?
Or your box.
My box.
No, look.
Your box. No,
Look. You're purple. I'm
No,
waiting
like the box she was gonna do in for my name, like the based off the teachings.
Yeah, that's from Melamart. That's that in the meeting when I was letting him know that those prices and stuff we'll have to give later, because you and I have to sit and curate it. Absolutely. On Melamart, there will be an exclusive, because you know we're done with subscription boxes. So if you got the Smoky Days, if you got the Love You First, if you got those subscription boxes, that's it for this year. However, when Melamart hits, there will be a box that the only place that you can get it is Melamart, and it will be focused, a collaboration between A Walk with the Ancestors and Grand Rising, that will be focused on the teachings. Y'all know what it's like to open these boxes, so know that it's going to be grand, it's going to be amazing, and everything you've always wished for in this one box to assist in the journey of gathering the information. And I low-key feel like I want to wait for the Melanite Bible, because we can make this so dynamic with this box, where if you have just found Quatiter, if you've been here for years, it will have an impact on you, and it will be your box to go to in order to gather all of the information that you need to really be at your best in the walk with the ancestors.
Once I get caught up with all of the tarot decks and sending those packages out, I'm going to go back and restart on the Melanite Bible, because what I have to do is also transcript some of my classes to put it into the Bible, so I have to go back and do that, and then take some of the teachings, new teachings, the understanding of the different deities, and add them in there as well, so but I want to put up a class. Somebody just says we're doing couple therapy. I want to put up the class with Malika and her husband. That's been heavy on my mind, as well as the class with Jazz. Like, that's been on my mind. Like, I want to put up 2 different classes, as well as, of course, the Teglatron and Taintiness and the Syrian class. Although we've actually kind of had Syrian, so don't know about that. But I want to put these classes up so we can get into these classes and really break some shit down and teach some shit. Not that we haven't been, because we have been, but this would be, I guess, we'll know exactly what we coming in to teach and talk about. Right now, we just kind of go through a lot of different things that we have discovered and just putting it out there and connecting. But I do want to say this. I want us to really hear the knowledge that is being given today and that has been given already, because when you connect to your oversoul, my oversoul is a dragon. I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be a lion when I first connected with my oversoul. I noticed that it was a dragon. Who else is a dragon? Adina's a dragon. Not all dragons are bad. You know what I mean? We kind of taint certain things by the way of that we think about things. Now, we were talking about also shape shifting into different kakusas. Like, you don't just connect to one kakusa. You connect to several kakusas, because you didn't come from just one lineage of people. You ain't been here just one time, So I feel like what the power in this conversation today is connecting with all parts of yourself, all parts of your soul, to reconnect and become as merged and integrated as possible, so you can not only heal, but you can then reach deeper into your ether and pull out your magic. And then when you combine it with the ancestors that you should be working with, which is your second line of defense, you should always be working with your ancestors. And we just talked about that, Malika and I, how once we was discovering more about the deities, like we haven't been always doing the work that we started with doing. You know what I mean? So we can't never, forget about the ancestors. So we got to get back to honoring the ancestors and understanding how they play the role. Because if you forget that, you've forgotten you again. You can't do that. So you have to figure out how to incorporate. That's why this shit has to be a walk every day. And they know that. So they keep you focused on a whole bunch of low vibrational shit. Because if you over there watching motherfucking Jerry Springer, they know that you are not communicating with your third eon of self that's probably trying to heal from being killed early on in life and is angry or some shit. Like, you have to reconnect inside of your soul's existence, all of them, to merge back together, to be integrated, to heal, so you can live a better life, because you're walking inside of generational trauma. And if you're not looking at it, you're not healing. You're still just healing this one, and you still can't figure out why the fuck you still showing up in this way, or life is still showing up, because you still have other trauma from other eons this probably still parallel going on. You got to communicate with all facets of yourself. Go ahead, Malika.
So can I just say that all I'm hearing is soul polyamory. Remember
soul polyamory.
Remember
yes.
Right.
Okay.
So I want to say that the tools that are required to be able to do what you're speaking of is you have to do that with yourself in this existence first, to gather those tools. So when Fatida says that's an everyday walk, you literally, okay, so have we talked about soul polyamory here? Listen, I'm hearing myself talk back to me.
We didn't go deep. You know what? Go ahead. Hold on. Let me go come out and come back in because I think it's me. Hold on.
Okay. So soul polyamory, there's a gentleman by the name of Dox and his wife Candace that are on Instagram. And I watch them regularly. I'm hooked, right? And he explained, let's see, Quatita's coming back. You're back. And there's no echo.
There's no echo because it was me. Okay.
So he was explaining the idea of soul polyamory. And I was like, let me lean in because he said poly, but it wasn't that kind of poly, right? It is an internal connection with all parts of yourself. So when you hear inner child work, you think about writing the letter to the young version of yourself that you know where the most trauma was, and we focus on that one version of the inner child, but there's so many parts of you that you've transformed into along the way outside of that one version of yourself that you're tapping back into. And what his concept and the focus of it was to ensure that you are celebrating all versions of yourself that led up to this. Now, when Quatita and I spoke about it, we had talked about how we don't appreciate ourselves enough. Like we take self in our journey for granted, because with my husband, I look at all of the ways that we have evolved individually and together in our relationship, and we give gratitude for all of them. Like, you remember when, and we had did this and that. Like, I'm so glad that we've gotten past that, but like, kudos to us for pushing the way we did. And you remember that when, and it's not just one time that turned us into right now. There are a lot of versions of both of us that we had to be to get to where we are right now. And so the idea of celebrating all of these versions of yourself from birth all the way until where you are now, it gives like a kudos to your existence. But as you're doing that, you're having to really do the work on healing trauma throughout your entire experience. Now, with you becoming open-eyed to what has been happening to bring you to where you are, you're gathering these tools so that you can show up. Please do not show up to the table of your alternates and be the one that hasn't done the work. Be the one who is still in their ego in the worst way. Be the one who is full of themselves or don't want to hear it. And when I say alternates, those are the other versions of you in these other parallels that Quatita is telling you to connect with. Please do not be the one. You know how Quatita says, how dare you reach to the deities and you haven't reached to your ancestors first? It's the same exact type of connection. The work has to be done on all levels, but it's so important that you do it, because when you do, you like yourself more. And when you like yourself more, you show up differently in spaces, and people like you more because you want to continue that energy, and you know what it is to not like yourself. And how dare I ever go back to that when I have learned how to love myself in the way that I deserve? When I have set my bar and raised my bar to what it is that I want from myself and to receive from others. Go ahead, friend.
Listen, I just want to say this about the owl, and it just came to me. Why? Because Yehuda is dope as fuck. I kept saying, "Oh, the owl probably up there like who," and immediately he showed me, Alice in Wonderland. Who are you?
I'll be right back.
She about to go and get something. Oh, go ahead, Jazzy.
Well, this is really cool. Like really cool. I was gonna say earlier about the past life reading. We was talking about how I found out I did my past life reading a few years back and found out my name was Felicita. And Felicita means daughter of joy. My mama this lifetime name is Joy. And I was killed in the Roman arena for speaking the truth and telling the truth. It's like it was the future, but it was the past all at the same time. And when I was killed, they beheaded everybody, and everybody had on white. And when it's like when I was learning about it, I could see it, and I could see it clearly to where like how I'm telling you what happened, right? And do you know, do perpetual ring any bell to you?
What is it?
The name perpetual.
No. Like I feel like I know the word. You know what I mean? But
I was there and we was beheaded, and it was said that it was all them people that was there was the soul group. I can't really remember who I was there, but I do remember it was a group full of healers. And remember we was talking about, and I know that's how I know a lot about the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire is who killed the healers, which were the witches of Salem. And I always knew I was a witch of Salem, which is Jerusalem. That's what the white represents, the peace. And then I found out like King James, when he put the Bible out in 1611, he put that out because he wanted to kill all the healers. So he made the witches look like bad people. When you find out the etymology of the word witch means wise woman. So they killed all the wise women and all the wise men
so they don't want you to
that
be
were
a witch, but
killers.
they want you to be a queen.
Right.
Come
But that's
through.
why a lot of us who family still stuck in the church fight us who are called the black sheep, because Yakub separated the sheep, the black ones from the white ones. Remember, that was in the Bible. But he separated the black ones from the white ones. And what that mean, like, it was like the ones who gotta go through all the generational curses and feel all the, that's basically being a light in the dark, right? You know, and it's like he sent out to kill all the wise people in the land, and that's how they killed the wisdom off. So now when you like sage, which sage actually you know, it heals your ions and your molecules in your body. They took our science away and they turned it into religion, and now everybody arguing about religion when we was the original scientists, because the word chemite is chemistry. We all got chemicals in our bodies. We all are chemistry, and we should know our chemistry, you know, because it's subject to
Which is
change.
pretty much the philosophy or the study of the melanite, the melanin, the blackness, um, and having
The
that
chem.
knowledge in the alchemy, like the alchemy of the melanite. Um, Before I let Malika go, I'm gonna say this because what you just said, you asked me if that meant something. Not to me, but it did register this. My aunt, she came to me and she told me, she said, I never told nobody this. She says, I remember being killed at the stake. She said, they killed me. She said, and I never told anybody. I walked into this backyard. I was invited to a barbecue. And when I went and stepped in the backyard, it all came back to me. And I felt like I was in the very place in which they set me afire on the stake and killed me. She said, they kept saying I was a witch. She said, but I've never told nobody that, Quatita. And I was like, huh, interesting. Interesting. Go ahead, Malika.
I love the fact that the meaning is wise woman, and I feel like that's the term that I'm going to use from now on.
That part. That part.
Like
I'm
W2.
witchy poo like a motherfucker.
Listen, wise woman, W2, W to the second power. Like that is, I love that. So the owls, right? When Yehuda said, who are you? Yeah. You haven't gotten your box yet, because all Ro has left is the sleeves on your sweater, and then it's getting shipped off, right? But so you have not seen the book for the Smoky Days box. Sorry, y'all, it's out of stock. It was limited edition, and they're gone, like sold out. When you did the Etheria class, and it was that dawning, that aha moment that I was like, you've got to be shitting me. My exact word. because the owl, and I didn't know the connection with etheria and the smoky quartz and the process of using the water, like what Jazzy was speaking of earlier, that Quatita has in her inclusion of the reading. But the box was focused on smoky quartz, right? So I'm gonna blow your mind real quick because I love when this happens with us. So the box was focused on smoky quartz, right? You get a bunch of pieces of smoky quartz in the box.
With the little owls, right?
On the box itself, my son's girlfriend did this artwork. Do you see what's in the tree?
The owls.
Right here, the owl.
Yeah.
So the description, because crystals for me are not just, these are so pretty, I'm going to hold them and feel like I'm feeling something. I really want us to be learning about these crystals. Ashe, rose quartz or selenite? That's selenite. It looks a little pink on my screen. Which one is it, Jazzy?
It's rose quartz.
It is rose quartz.
Yeah, I heard me. Rose quartz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it sits in a agate bowl.
Oh, I love that.
It sits in an agate bowl.
So
I sell crystals too.
Oh, Ashe, you did say that. That's right. Listen, because it's necessary. So this is the booklet that came, the manual that has like the intention ceremony that you use with the smoky quartz and all of it. Quatita, let me read, because this came in there also, your trinket for your altar, right? This is Stash Who. That is this owl's name. So the description for Stash Who that's in here, it says, behold Stash Who, a mystical and luxurious jeweled gold stash trinket owl. This stunning trinket is adorned with exquisite jewels that sparkle and shimmer, invoking the powerful energy of the owl's ancient symbolism. The owl is a sacred creature associated with wisdom, intuition, and the mysterious forces of the universe. Revered by many belief systems, the owl is connected to the deity Etheria, the mist of connection and the keeper of the garden, based on the teachings of Quatita, the governess dean of A Walk with the Ancestors, and the Orisha Yua. With Stash Who in your possession, you'll feel a sense of connection to these spiritual energies, elevating your daily routine to new heights, diving deeper into the energy of knowing who you are.
Because who are
you? Let me tell you what, I cannot.
And we are many.
Oh my goodness, like Ashe.
This is cool.
So, going back to the Bible real quick. You know, when they always, just how we just discovered how they try to make witch bad, but it means wise woman. And then by etymology, queen means low class woman, a prostitute, but that's what we all want to call ourselves and be. But you don't want to be a witch. That's witch shit. So when we even looking at that, because I said we are many, we legion, we are many, right? And so that's in the Bible, because they wanted to destroy that spirit that was many by sending it into the swine to get rid of it, because it was many. We are many. They're always trying to get rid of us. They try to put us into the swine. Could that be a genome reference? That is really deep. I need to look into this a little bit more.
Okay.
But go ahead.
So, pork. Because people that's Islam don't eat pork, right? Because pork eat anything. So if you eat pork, you put yourself at the lowest vibration to consume anything. So that's why people of Islam nation do not consume pork. So that's the swine. It's energy. They giving you the energy of consuming anything.
So they try to put us, as many as we are, into the lower vibration. Tried to send us. See how that broke down just like that? See what I'm saying? We should do, us three should develop a show and do a show. Even if we don't do it every week, it could be every other week. And then we can have guest speakers come on. I'm spitting. We can have guest speakers come on and drop knowledge. And it don't have to be, it could be just like, not even a debate, but just other people bringing in knowledge and wisdom. We should look at that and do that. The three wise women.
Yeah, come on, girl. But I even got I got 2 10-year-olds, Ashton and my angel, and they came here together. It's my daughter, she 10. Her name my angel, Honesty. And then Ashton, which means God. That's my best friend's son. But they a Leo and a Virgo. And when I tell you these is not no normal 10-year-olds, I would love, and they watch you anyway. So if we put them on the camera with you, they'll talk to you like they done known you for years. You would be like, how old is y'all again? But I think the world needs to see that. Because that's gonna spark people to get in their babies. Everybody gonna be talking to their baby that night, like, now what you know? You know what I'm saying? Because out in the Bible it say we gonna learn out the mouth of the baby.
Yes, I
I've
love
been
witch's brew.
learning.
Somebody said
My
we should call it
baby,
witch's brew.
witch's brood. Come on, let's get the witch brood going.
Yes, I love it.
Look, my 10 year
I
old
think
over here
I
is
agree
talking
with
about,
you,
hey,
Jazzy. I agree with you. Like children, like there's a lot of young people that watch me that have brought their parents to me. So yeah. Mm.
oh, my baby want to say hi. She over here like, tell Quatita I said, hey. Malika
Hey,
on here
girl.
too. She said, hey. She said, hey, Giraffe tribe. She from the Giraffe tribe. She said, y'all job is to overlook everybody. That's why y'all got the long neck, because in the spirit, you know why you that animal. Like as an elephant, I was telling Quatita, we elephants at the moment because we're knocking down the forest. So all the other smaller spiritual animals can do what they gotta do, because everybody play a part, down to the chickmunk, down to the worm that's creating the soil so we can have some dirt. Their job is just important as everybody else's. We all got to work together to create the forest. So that's why we need to go watch Jungle Book.
So Jazzy, when you said, okay, let me talk to my giraffe family real quick. Greetings, baby love. So for us as giraffes, where is she? Doesn't want to be on camera. She probably doesn't want to be on camera. No. Okay, but she can hear me. Okay, so as giraffes in this existence, right? I think another representation of the giraffe, outside of being overseer and looking over and making sure all is well, it's also keeping our mind at a distance from the chaos that is occurring in the grounding space. I'm going to say it that way. It's making sure that before all, you hold your sense of peace. You don't allow the chaos to mess with your ebb and flow. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this, right? You don't, because I usually will cuss a lot, and I don't want to do that right now. But you don't allow the chaos of anything that is occurring to move or mess with your ebb and flow, your natural way of being. When you are able to do that, you're able to see things outside of the way that most see it. So, and it leads to the ability to be non-judgmental in that, and to do what Auntie Quatita was saying earlier, which is to not get caught up in the mess of it, right? To separate yourself from what you see occurring and to understand it for what it is and make clear-minded thoughts. Because when your head is in the sky, what can you do outside of making clear-minded thoughts? You have to. So when I look at the giraffe, Jazzy, that's what I see also, is that protection. I look at that neck, and that's even what they use to fight. When you see them fight and they swing that neck, baby, and it hit, that hurts. Like that is their weapon. That is their weapon, and it keeps their most sacred sense of being away from anything else. Nothing can affect it. And that's why, like my beautiful friend loves to say, I love that you say it all the time too, is when things don't affect us, we're so far away from it that we nothing it. We don't hate it. We don't love it. We nothing it. There is nothing that you can ever receive from me. I don't even see you. So how could I have feelings for you? It's the giraffe is so much that for me. I just at all of it. I love it. But I just wanted to talk to my giraffe family really quick
So
to make sure.
we're gonna have children's books coming out, as the rebel said. It is from the the high council line. It is of the deities. So once we have that, Kadeja, we will definitely do that. Now, Malika, you've given me credit talking about I nothing you. That was all you. I got that from you. You've taught me how to nothing people to where I don't show up in the space of which they're trying to push me into, because they like to see me blow a gasket and get pissed. And I got some cow's tongues and stuff in the refrigerator I need to get rid of. I'll probably get rid of this weekend, just so I can get rid of it, so it's not in there. So, but you've taught me the nothing. I nothing these people. So gratitude to you for teaching me and bringing me into that space of not showing up in a way that is not conducive to what I am trying to do. Now, sometimes you got to swords and shadows, as you say. Sometimes you got to. But I think you also need to know the difference. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I have been learning what the difference is, because not everybody deserves my anger, because I nothing you. Why would I even allow you to make me mad? You absolutely mean nothing. And I love that. Gratitude.
Okay, gratitude, friend.
Dang, it was one more thing that I was getting ready to bring up. You were talking to the baby. Damn. I then lost the train of thought. But it was something you had said about the baby, to the baby. But yeah, let me just say that one more time. Please be looking out for the children's book. The first one we have coming out is Squipplish. We're just waiting on the artwork and some different things to be finished, but it is definitely coming. And the next one, I believe, is Davia Night, that she's just completed the manuscript for that. So this has been really, really good, Witches Brew. This was really good of us putting things together and communicating and just bringing forth the power and the knowledge, which we will do. We're going to do again, because this was fun. And we'll get to pull up Z energy next time. So y'all want to say anything else before we get out of here? Because I was going to bring up something I cannot even remember it now. Dang it. You good, Jazzy?
I'm just waiting on the X-Men school, because I saw this a long time ago. So I'm just watching the movie. Look, I'm just watching the movie waiting, because I know I'm a professor. But I'm just waiting for the school to open, because I don't know if I'm Wolverine or somebody, but I'm just saying.
Excuse me. We did talk about it. I've brought it up a few times, like making that a real thing, bringing that to fruition into life. So I'm definitely waiting on that. Jazzy, somebody's asking for your YouTube channel, please.
It's Spiritual Situation.
Spiritual Situation. And then on Facebook, you're
Jazzy Gems Dean.
On Facebook, she's Jazzy Gems Dean. So you can find her on both places.
And I got a lot of videos on there.
Okay. Yes, a lot. Yeah, she's been teaching for a minute. This is okay. When I did my last event in Cincinnati, it wasn't a mistake. It was an actual group reading, and Jazzy came with her friends. That's what she was talking about the first day we did this. When she was like, her friend who was next to her, and then the girl she used to babysit was sitting in front, and another person actually said that they used to know her and her brother as well. She was sitting behind Miss Janice. So for some reason, everybody in that motherfucker was connected, because I ended up knowing a few people that was in there too, didn't even know, but I said to you, I said, where the hell Malika just go? I said, you can solve murders by numbers. And so Aubrey said today, wait a minute, is that the one that be solving the murders, can solve the murders by the numbers? I said, yes, that's her. She said, the one from Cincinnati. I said, yes. She said, girl, you know how she did, girl.
Hey,
so, you started telling me something about doing a reading from a fucking broom. which was deep as fuck. Like, I want people to understand how everything is a message. So if you would just say that real quick, if you don't mind, because I want people to know everything is a message.
So I was talking on the phone with somebody. I ain't gonna say her name, but so she was telling me, okay, we was talking about my situation because I was falling apart, and she genuinely was checking on me. And so in the midst of me falling apart, I heard her brother like, "Hey, I need you to see something." So I'm like, "What's his birthday?" No, I said, "What day did he pass away on?" I wrote the date down. So then I said, I added it up. You know, I was doing my calculations, and I asked her what his birthday was. Soon as I asked that, she heard a noise in the kitchen. So I had wrote on the paper, I circled wisdom and power because I came up with the number 2 and the number 5. That's how I got wisdom and power. She goes in the kitchen. She take a picture of what she see. So the broom laying on the ground, the dustpan laying face up on top of the ground. I tell her, well, somebody set your brother up and they crossed him. So when they crossed him, they did him dirty for a little bit of cheese because it was a little bit of macaroni and cheese in the picture. And, you know, she was outdone that I had read this picture to her. And I'm outdone that I done read this picture to her. But that's how Spirit showed me through numbers, after she done told me I could do it, that I could solve murders. Because I solved my brother murder with numbers. And I'm just wasn't even thinking about that. And you walked right up to me and was like, told me what happened, told me who did it. Like, and the crazy thing, the day before my brother passed away, he came over my house to talk to me. And guess who video I was watching? So my brother
Really?
sent you in the flesh to even know who to go. The whole story behind that is just amazing. Like, you know, it's spirit.
This happened twice to me, where a person or a parent told me, I used to watch you with my daughter before my daughter was murdered, and after she got killed, I told her to come to you, find her. And that's exactly what happened. That's happened like 2 or 3 times actually. So that's deep.
Yeah, they know because, you know, one thing that I found out when I was passed out on the couch the other day in my feelings, other people ancestors watch over you because you the connection. So it's like at the time when I didn't know you, my daddy was one of them people that was watching over you because my daddy like, hey, y'all got me messed up. She got to talk to my daughter. You get what I'm saying? And my brother over there with my daddy, like, and my grandma and whoever else. So you got to think how many people walk with you. So the name of your business is a walk with the ancestors. You ain't never lied about that.
Gratitude. So I put the link, but I put the link just in case Malika could not find it so she can get back up here. It's not for anybody else to come up, Miss Monet, but I just put the link so Malika could find her way back up here in case she couldn't find it, because we're gonna go ahead and get off of here. But this has been so surreal and great and wonderful, and gratitude for even trying to come up, Miss Monet. I appreciate you. But I love you to life, Jazzy.
Love you
Gratitude
too.
for coming up. Gratitude to Malika. I don't know what happened. She got dropped down for some reason. But we're gonna definitely do this again, and maybe we can get Z Energy to come up this time. So love you. Gratitude. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace,
All right,
Jazzy.
peace.
Solitude Day, why y'all?